in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
wow, welcome back. Welcome back to Actually Aubrey. This is Belle Collective Recap and Review, the Season 2, Episode 7, Not Model Behavior. How are you doing tonight, Alex?
I'm doing great, I feel energetic, although it's kind of been a tiring day, but I feel energetic.
Oh, good. Yeah, I feel you on that. It's here in Michigan, it's been kind of cool and a little cloudy, and I think there was some rain earlier, so a good day for sleeping and napping. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I definitely get it.
You can feel the season starting to change a little bit.
Exactly. You absolutely can. Like it's gonna be sweater minute here in a hot minute, like in a quick minute. It'll be time to put on the sweaters because it's definitely changed. And at night, like tonight, is supposed to get down here to like 57 degrees.
See, that's good sleeping weather right there.
It is because I like to be cool in the evening when I go to sleep. I do.
Yeah, get a nice blanket, curl up in a nice blanket. That's good sleep there.
Absolutely. Yep. So how you guys doing out there? Let's see. Let me get over here to the comments real quick and see what's going on. Hey there, Roro. How you doing? Yes. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Absolutely. Good to see you. And also a member and moderator extraordinaire, Monique King. Happy Monday, everybody. Please like the video as you enter. I appreciate that. Thanks, Monique. Appreciate that very much.
Roro and Monique, the first two in the room. I think Ellen just stepped in.
Oh, Ellen, hey there, member and moderator extraordinaire. Welcome to you too. Welcome to all of you ladies and anybody else. I see a few people coming in. They haven't said hey yet, but they're in the bushes, so that's good. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. Happy Monday.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get right started. With
this episode review was very interesting, to say the least. There were some things more interesting than others, but you take the lead and we'll go from there.
Okay, absolutely. So we open with we see the Bells at the continuation from last episode. The Bells and the ladies are all at the sistervention, as they call it. You know, Tambra Cherie says that she wanted to help, but I'm not sure if that's really the case. What are your thoughts about this? You know, that they're kind of hashing out this situation between Akeisha and Letitia, and did Akeisha say things to Tambra Cherie, and Tambra Cherie brought all this back to Letitia, and this kind of caused some dissension and not a sisterhood. What were your thoughts about that scene?
I think that every time they have these, whether it's a sisterhood intervention or a brunch or whatever it is, they just can't get along. They need to stop it. You know, I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, it sounds like Romper Room. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Romper Room. Like that bunch of as a kid show, you know.
Okay.
And you're hearing a bunch of kids go back and forth. You said I was ugly. No, you're ugly. You called me ugly. You're ugly. And the whole thing. I'm like, what is this? These are grown women supposed to be,
grown women, allegedly professional women at that. You know.
Yeah, they're sitting there for about a half hour.
I wouldn't care if somebody called me ugly, as long as I'm comfortable with my physicality. I wouldn't care if you called me ugly, especially, and I'm saying not even to your face. So you don't really know. And I think that's the other thing. When I'm around a bunch of women and I don't know them well and I don't know their character, I'm going to kind of take whatever they tell me with a grain of salt. So I'm thinking, why can't Letitia do that? Letitia, you know what I noticed? I got to say this. You know what I noticed this episode? It's like Letitia became the Marie of the group, of the brunch. She brought a lot of aggression and a lot of feeling and emotion, and she became the Marie of the bunch because, like, you know, she's calling Akeisha out her name. She's all kind of bees and this and that. And
she even FaceTime Marie. for this
She did
nonsense.
FaceTime Marie, and Marie was calm. I got a little notation on that though too. I thought it was really kind of odd that Marie is on FaceTime initially, and you can see her face, and then a few seconds later, all of a sudden, she has a mask on, and I'm trying to figure out
Where
what do
was
you need
she?
a yeah, well, at that, and what do you need a mask on for FaceTime? But yeah, that's a good point. Maybe she was in some place where there were other people, and we can't see them. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, that was kind of comical to me.
But let me say this about this too. A couple of things stood out. First of all, Tambra for me seems very shady in this incident because it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like you wanted to get people together to fight because you know what was said and
Mm-hmm.
you exaggerated it or lied about it or whatever wording you used, but it caused everybody to be angry. So
Mm-hmm.
Akeisha is saying, or it came out later that what was said was, where are all the attractive women at in Jackson? Supposedly that was the statement. How we get to the women in Jackson are ugly, I don't know where it got to that. That's what happens
Mm-hmm.
when something goes through channels and people start changing the story as it goes through channels. Okay.
Mm.
The other thing that got to me was the fact that Tambra was sitting there squirming, trying to get away from the situation that she caused. Okay.
Okay, you
But
noticed that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed that she was trying to get away from it and ride the fence and skirt the edges and all that kind of stuff. But then once she finally got cornered, then she came out fighting like a rat. Oh no, you're not gonna say I said, because she got cornered. There was no way out of it.
Wait a minute. Read that on the screen there, if you don't mind.
Tambourine thinks that women are ugly, if you ask me. Tambourine.
Tambourine. Yeah, I think that could have been something because I have in my youth. I don't know. Maybe I don't get out enough. I don't be around large crowds, but in my youth, I can recall that a girl that I thought was my girlfriend. She came back to me and tried to start a fight the same way with a girl from another block. And she said all these things about me, and come to find out when I really went and just was talking to that young lady, come to find out it was my so-called friend had said all these things about me because that's how she really truly felt, and she was just like a fake friend.
All the time.
And so I
All the
didn't I,
time.
I didn't have to even get into a fight, and it got cleared up and squared away, and I said, okay, I see what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say I would not take somebody comes back to me and tells me so and so said. I'm not gonna believe all of that. I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
believe that. I mean, you'd have to be my very best closest friend for me to believe whatever stuff you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
and,
Just
and, and, and if I'm your very best friend, I'm going to go right to you. Yo, listen, they said you said this. What's up? That's what I'm gonna
mm-hmm.
do.
Right,
I'm
right,
not
right.
gonna get. I'm not gonna get in front of a crowd of
You
people and address
mm-hmm.
that.
Right. You can still verify it. Exactly. Exactly. That's kind of what I got out of it. But what I thought was really sad too, besides Letitia losing her frame in this situation and not really taking everything with a grain of salt that Tambra Cherie told her, I didn't like that. First of all, that she called Akeisha out her name, called her the B word. But what really hurt me was when she hit Akeisha with that low blow about you weren't wanted by your family. As a adopted adult person, I thought that was very hurtful. I thought that
Very
was
low.
very, very cruel. Any one of us could be in a situation you have no control over. If at birth something happens and your parent may be addicted, may be sent to prison, whatever the case may be. You have no control over that. So why would
Nope.
somebody stoop to that level, particularly a woman, and particularly a woman who is a mother?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was
I'm
really
looking at her a little
awful.
bit differently now for making a comment like that because that was very, very low to say that in front of a group of women, and you call it a B word. You know,
Right.
like you said, anything can happen when a child comes into this world. They have no control over what their parents are going to do, not going to do. You can end up any place. So to sit up there and say a family that didn't want you, you don't know the circumstances of what went on in that woman's family. So why would you
Oh
make? Why would you
no.
say something like that?
Exactly.
So that's so
I
that was just a low down, dirty comment intending on hurting her intentionally. That was intentional. Because what else could it accomplish?
Hmm. Oh, I love this comment right here. Roro says that Tambourine got heated and forgot that she was supposed to talk proper, as we say in the South. I know that's right because you know that over enunciation all of a sudden just became very regular. I was like, wow. But I just gotta say, I'm still sticking with this thing with Letitia, and as I'm just sitting here thinking about it, I said, the thing about it is later on the ladies kind of worked it out, and that was a good thing. They did kind of see their way through it, and because Akeisha stuck to her guns, and I believe her that she said that she didn't say those things, and she even kind of called Tambra Cherie to the carpet. And since nobody knows except the two women that were there and God, right? But I just kind of still look at Letitia, like you said, a little differently, because here's the thing about an argument. You say all these things in an argument in the heat of the moment. Yeah, you're upset that maybe somebody called you, supposedly, allegedly called you ugly. To me, if you have self-esteem, that wouldn't bother you. But you have these kind of feelings or whatever. Um, and then you say these ugly things, and then later on you find out, say you do find out that it's not true. Now look at all the things that you said, and even though somebody can forgive you, you know that people aren't going to forget.
No,
I'm never going to forget if somebody tells me that you're from a family that where people didn't want you. I'm never going to forget that.
yeah, that's hurtful. Words hurt. I don't care what people tell you. Words hurt. What if somebody has said to Letitia? What if Akeisha has said to Letitia, "That's where your husband has a baby with another woman"?
Right,
How would that have hurt
right,
her?
right,
You
right. And
know,
that's the thing, that people that are your friends or even know you halfway well, anybody that knows you can pick something out about you that they know is a sore spot for you, is a weakness, and they
mm,
can throw it up in your face if they're trying to be cruel. But why do that? Why do
mm.
that?
My brother. Oh, he has a saying. He always told my brother Ricky. Always told me and Eric, and he always said we can argue and fight and go through this because we're going to have disagreements. Just don't say nothing you can't take back. And I never forgot that because
Hmm.
there are some things you can say that are so hurtful that it's beyond forgiveness. It's beyond apologies. And
Right.
people don't realize that.
That's it. That's right. That's right. Because and I've had that happen. Like, to me, again, it kind of shows your character. It really kind of shows. Hold on one second. Let me turn these notifications off. I'm sorry.
Definitely
It
bad
kind
character trait.
it shows, yeah, it shows your character, it shows your lack of patience to just be patient with the other person to find out what the truth is. And I think too, to try to always assume the best, the better in the person, you know what I'm saying, until you find out differently. And if that's the case, then you know what you do, you just don't associate. For me, I just don't associate with that person anymore.
Right.
So my question I had, and we'll move on to the next slide, is, was Tamara confused about what was being said to her by Akeisha, do you feel like, or do you think that she was just outright lying or just being messy? Maybe I'll say it that way.
Yeah. To me, I think she just being messy because she didn't have to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have to say anything. Keep it to yourself.
Right.
Some people just can't hold water. They can't hold anything. They can't wait to let it out. And just, and this is how information get misconstrued because every time one person gets a story, when they tell it to somebody else, it's a little different. And then it gets a little different with the next person, and so on and so on. Before you know it, you got a totally different story.
Oh, you know what? This is a good question and a good point too. I hadn't thought about this, but Letitia doesn't really know Akeisha. So where would she have gotten that information from? Maybe Tamara, perhaps Roro is offering, and I think that's a good point. She
Right.
probably did get it from Tamara. Absolutely.
Right.
Wow. That
That's
that
it.
that's a very good point. Very good point. So we'll press on to the next slide.
Mm.
Let's see. Um, yeah, and then this is kind of yeah, this is just to say born into a family that didn't even want you. But
Mm.
next, anyway, Tamara chats about the upcoming Rock the One Runway event.
Right.
And she talks about that with Mel, and that seems like that's going to be an exciting event. We'll get into that a little bit later. That's coming up. Um,
Mel is an Amazon. I had no idea. She is an Amazon.
Yeah, she really is.
Oh my goodness.
She's very gorgeous too.
Mm.
Sophia's daughter Dee is back home with her in her blended family with her three stepsisters. And the parents get the young ladies together to finally discuss the tension that's in their blended family.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think about this? We get some from Dee's perspective that she felt like she was maybe bullied by the twins. that there was some meanness and interesting enough, and I kind of felt like this somehow was going to come up, even though I don't really see there's such a slight shade difference between the three young ladies. That colorism was brought up.
Yeah, that surprised me because it's not that much of a difference in their complexions.
I'm like, really? Like y'all doing that Southern thing? Like really? Like who really cares?
But it just is sickening to me that this has been going on since I was a kid and before I was born. This has been going on.
Well, before we were born.
Well, yeah, and it's still going on. It has to stop. It's sickening. Black people can be. We can make any shade. We can make all colors. I've seen dark-skinned black people with blue eyes, natural, no contacts.
Absolutely. Okay? In Africa, they have I once saw, I guess what was that? The National Geographic. And they had all these pictures of people in Africa and how, because Africa, of course, we know is a continent and there's many countries inside of Africa.
Right.
But they had this, picture of a girl, very dark complexion, wavy hair, and striking, really stunning blue eyes. I have a cousin like that. Now, she's not dark complexion. She actually could pass for Caucasian, and has blue eyes and naturally blonde hair. And both her parents are African American. And people say, well, how is it? But like you said, we can create any color because our genes are so rich, and so there's so much going on.
Yeah, we can go from what they call blue black to albino.
Albino. Yeah.
So it's just that's just what we do. And I'm tired of this, in-house sort of racism between us. It needs to stop. You're black. Okay, so cut it out, whether you're caramel colored, chocolate colored, double fudge, double vanilla scoop, whatever you are, you're black. So cut the crap. It annoys me. But the thing that I really want to touch on is the fact that they had this blended family forum that was way overdue. I don't know how they didn't do this years ago when those girls were kids. I don't understand how this got by them, because this is something that should have been done. Now, this is something that's very close to my heart because I went through this. And you have to get them kids together from day one and have these discussions on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I was glad that they finally did have it, but I'm like, you guys have been together, what, they said 15, 16 years. They've only been married for 4 of those, but still, I have to assume, I think she said they didn't live together, but I have my questions and doubts about that. But even if you weren't living together in the same house, surely the kids would get together for holidays. You would have him over, he would have you over, or whatever. And like you said, these are conversations that you need to start having if you're seriously dating a person, and when you're serious and you're thinking about living together or getting married.
Right.
Start early. Start early and do it often, as you pointed out. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, once you getting together and the kids are playing together and you guys know you're in love or whatever, it's time to sit down and have this conversation. The kids are playing together, they're acting like they're siblings already. Because when I had a blended family with my second marriage, and I know my oldest daughter, she's kind of an in-your-face type person. And my stepson, he more laid back and cool type guy.
Okay.
So when they were about to meet, I went to him and said, listen, my daughter's a little bit in your face. You kind of laid back and cool, whatever. But what I want you to know is,
I wonder where your daughter gets that from.
Her mother. Her mother.
You. Both of you probably.
But I told him, I said, but I want you to know that I'm not going to be picking sides in this house. We are family. Okay, you guys have an issue, you try to work it out first. If not, you'll come to us collectively. But try to resolve your own issues. You're old enough to try to do that. And I had this discussion from jump.
Because they were teenagers, right? About the
time, they're early teens. Yeah, early teens.
Yeah. So they were old enough to know.
Yeah, I had that conversation early, because you don't wait till stuff gets chaotic to want to have this conversation. I mean, they say better late than never, but they should have been had the conversation.
Yeah, because I think it would have helped not have a lot of hurt feelings. It would have opened up the lines of communications. And the other thing about it is it's important because as parents, you're setting the tone for the household. It's not the children that set the tone. It's supposedly the parents. The parents set the tone in that house.
If the parents don't show a unified front,
yes, and that's so important.
The inmates will run the asylum.
Yeah, because the other thing that struck me is I know that Sophia has said that she has two children. She also has a son. So here's the thing. So it's three girls against her one daughter. And I
Yeah,
hate
that's
to
the
look,
other thing.
I hate to say it that way, but that's
Mm.
truly what I'm a woman and I'm a female, and I say this, it's truly those three girls. It was the twins and an older sister. And if anything is gonna jump off, of course the blood siblings are gonna.
They're going to jump on her. They're going to jump on one girl. That's the
Well,
way it's going to
no,
go down.
no, that wasn't what I was trying to say. No, what I was going to say though, but they're going to stick together. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
stick together because they've
Mm.
grown up together and they know each other. So they're going to stick together over the child that's in the household that they don't know, the sister in the household. They probably never bothered the brother because, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying, things being what they are, girls aren't going to typically jump on or argue with boys so much unless he's sassy like that, you know.
Right. Get my
They're
wink, wink.
yeah, I mean, right, just what it is,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you're
saying?
right.
But typically, like you said about your stepson, he's staying
Mm.
out of things. My son is like that. I have a son
Mm.
and a daughter, and my son is laid back and he's gonna stay out of things unless you
Right.
come bringing some stuff to him. But he's not messy. Typically the men are
Yeah.
less messy, the boys are less messy. So I'm just saying, so I could see how her daughter D, how she felt. And what I didn't like about this, even though I was glad they had it and it ended well, I didn't like the fact that the three girls, particularly the two twins, never really acknowledged that. And you and I had this debate the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Never really acknowledged how she felt versus what actually happened. They just kept saying,
Right.
"Well, no, that's not what happened. That's not the reality. That's not the
Right.
fact." It
That well
doesn't
that
matter.
that's her reality. You know what I
It's not
mean?
right. Is right, exactly that. It's not what you intended, it's how she felt. Just acknowledge it and say, you know what, I hear what you're saying, and I'm sorry you felt, hurt, you felt bullied, you felt that we were showing some kind of colorism or whatever. Just acknowledge it. That's the
Mm-hmm.
start, really, for real, in true therapy. That's the start of healing, is to acknowledge the other person's pain, because by doing that you see them as human.
Yeah.
You're not just looking at the problem, but you're looking at that human person, you know?
Yeah. Because I was thinking the same thing. When she kept telling them how she felt, they kept going, well, I disagree. Well, I disagree. You can't
Oh,
tell her how to feel.
who does that remind you of, Alex?
I don't know who's remind me of. Santa
Mm,
Claus? I don't know.
you.
What you
Mm.
bringing me into this for? We're talking about Belle Collective. What you bringing me into this
Anyway,
for?
anyway,
See,
bully,
what had
bully.
happened was
No, you're a bully. You're a bully. I just know how to handle you. That's all. I know how to handle
oh
you. I
my
know where the
goodness.
bones are buried and the bodies are buried. So anyway, Roro says Sophia and JJ are to blame for the dissension between the girls. In some ways, I won't give them 100% of the blame, but yeah,
Yeah,
but I think that as parents, like I said, my thing is, and it's not easy. I'm not by any chance, because
by no stretch.
I never had a blended family. Alex
Yeah.
says he has, so he's
Mm.
shared some things. I never had a blended family, so I don't know what that lifestyle is like. Um, I know it can't be easy, but I just think that the parents have to push ahead through their uncomfortability and do the hard stuff, because the parents are the leaders.
Yeah, yeah, and
Um,
you heard what JJ's daughter said. You never accepted my daddy, so there was a lot going on where this discussion should have been had very, very early.
I heard
And
that. I heard
yeah,
that. Yeah, I didn't
mm.
understand that. What did she mean by? What did you feel like she meant by that? I heard that, but then I kind of, there was some other things going on. But
well,
but
she
tell
well,
me just briefly, what you think that she meant by that?
well, she probably felt like I didn't want this man with my mommy, so I'm not accepting him. And she probably had attitude with him early on in a relationship, so she figured out her mother wasn't going anywhere. She probably didn't like
Mm,
him. Kids do
mm.
that when you're
Well,
not the
yeah.
biological parent. It takes them a while to warm up to somebody else. They want their parents together, their natural parents together. That's natural for children to want that. So when a foreigner comes into the fray, they have to warm up to them, and it takes time to do that. You can't just accept the person right away. That never happens. That never happens.
Read what's on the screen if you don't mind.
The High Vibe. What's up, High Vibe? The scene with the sisters was triggering. Oh. I felt sorry for Gucci's daughter. She was outnumbered. Okay. Wow.
She was outnumbered by
Yeah.
those three sisters. That's what I was just saying. I mean, like,
And
there's
and
no
and
way around that. It's not like it was 3 and 3, like the Brady Bunch, and three,
yeah,
but the three being three girls. Because if she had sisters, trust me, that whole thing would have went down a whole lot different.
yeah. And this is probably why I think she's the only one. So Gucci's daughter is the only one still at home and pregnant. The other three are out, aren't they?
It sounded like when she was saying they were coming back, and I'm thinking their ages. I think she had said their ages on a previous episode, not this one, so I can't quote their ages, but I think they're like 20, so they're probably in college, and they were home for
Yeah.
the holiday. That's what
Right.
that is. They're
Yeah.
girls that are in their college bound girls, which to your point, if they're the same age, that kind of shows you that if they're the same age, let's say they're 20. Let's say, for
Mm-hmm.
example, the twins are 20 and this young lady is about 19 or 20. Um, then the girls, they went off to college and
Mm-hmm.
they're kind of setting up their future really well for a professional job, and
Mm-hmm.
versus the 19-20 year old who's at home pregnant. Not to say that
Pregnant.
she can't go to school, because she can. I
Right.
know, I think one of my neighbors years ago, she went to school and became a doctor with a baby.
Mm-hmm.
um but it's not to say that she can't, but it kind of does throw the trajectory off, because unless you got a lot of family support to help you with that child and you still go to college, it makes it more
Yeah,
difficult.
it makes that road very bumpy. You
It
can
makes it
do it.
harder. Yeah,
You
oh,
can definitely do it
absolutely.
because I've seen it many,
Absolutely.
many times. I've seen it.
And it looks
Um,
like, on a good note, it does look like D has her mom Sophie, and I refuse to call that lady so Gucci. I'm sorry.
mm.
It does look like D has her mom's support. So it's
Mm,
nothing that she can't do. She just has
mm,
to decide, once the baby is here and maybe the baby gets a little older, maybe 6 months or a year, then she may want to look at things and say, well, maybe I want to do this, or this is what I want to do in life. So, mom, will you help me with that? Or, can we hire a babysitter, a nanny, or whatever that thing is? Because
yeah,
definitely you can do it. You
and I
definitely
and I,
can.
and I do like what JJ said. The first thing I like what JJ did, first and
Hmm.
foremost, he pretty
Yes.
much stayed out of it and let the women interact and
Yes.
discuss.
Yes. He
Okay,
was not letting he was not having no slip hanging out like some of
nothing.
these men always got to be in women's business. I
So
do not like that look. No.
right, he sat back, and when he
Hmm.
felt it was time to exert his leadership, he
Yes.
stepped in and said, "This is what we need to do. You're going to need
Right.
you're going to need help with that baby.
I
So we're
love
going
it.
to we're going to get this together now because we got to do this as a family. That's what men do. Okay,
Yes.
I so appreciated what he did in that circumstance. It
I
was very
agree.
very powerful.
I agree with you. And then I think I want to add this. So I'm not familiar with the show that he was on, JJ, but
Mhm.
JJ was on another reality show with his girls. I guess they're into dance or majorettes or whatever, and they were in competition, serious competition. So the nice thing about that is that says to me that as a man, he's accustomed to being around lots of women, lots of
Mhm.
girls. He
Yep.
knows how they move. He knows how, like you said, how to sit back and let them handle it as best they can. Like you said about your blended family with your
Mhm.
stepson and your daughter, to allow them to work it out as best they can. But at a certain time, come together at the end and put that stamp on it. Now, this is what it is. And this is
Right.
how we're going to move from this point forward. We're going to forget the past and we're going to let that past go, but we're going to set things up. This is how we're going to go forward in the future. And I like that he did that. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree.
Yep. Powerful. Powerful.
Hmm. Oh wait,
Yeah.
I'm on High Vibe. Hey there, High Vibe. But I wanted to, this was the comment Roro had left this to, and then we're gonna move on. Did anyone catch it that so Gucci said that the other girls' moms wasn't there for them at a certain time? I did catch that. Did you catch
Mhm.
that?
Mhm. No,
I
I
didn't
didn't
know
really
what
catch that. Yeah.
I did catch that. I didn't know what to make of that.
Mm.
It's a lot going on with these people with fathers
Mm.
not being in the children's lives, or being
Mm.
serial cheaters, or um you know uh like with
And
Marie's mom being an
an
addict, a
addict, right?
recovering reoccurring addict.
Right. Right. Yep. And also too, so Gucci shared that she actually lost her mom when she was 6, and how tough it was for her growing up without her mother. So it's difficult for her. When she see the other girls, I guess at times they didn't have their mom. I'm not sure what's going on with their mother. We don't know. But when her
Hmm.
daughter hurt, her biological daughter hurts, she hurts because she probably has an extra special connection, knowing she didn't have her mother after she
That's
was
a
6 years
very
old.
That's a very good point. Roro brings out, that's the show, yeah, that the JJ was on Bring It with his ex-wife, which would have probably been the kid's mother, the girl's mother, who
Okay.
tweeted after the show. Roro, tell us in the comments, what did the ex-wife, what did she have to say? Did she shed any light on where she was, or what her thoughts were on the situation?
Yeah. What
If
did she
so,
tweet?
Yeah, put that in the comments while we move on, but we'll come back to it. If you drop it into the comments, we'll read it, okay?
Yeah.
So the next thing,
But also, I want to touch on. I'm not sure if this is on your
go ahead.
card or you missed it.
Or
When
maybe
Miss
going
so
to
Gucci or Sophia, you want to call her,
mm,
took Latrice to see a building for her
mhm.
business. Because so Gucci is a real estate agent or broker. They have their own business doing that.
Right.
And she took Latrice. She's showing Latrice some property because this dream that Latrice has is having a building where she can rent various units for business. I guess a commercial property.
Right.
And,
Oh
and, and
yeah.
yeah, and she wants to use that for people, I guess, that looks like us of color,
Mhm.
where they'll be treated fairly, where they'll get fair rent and treated right. And I just wanted to say that I definitely applaud that effort. I applaud that
Okay.
effort.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I did
Yeah.
see that and I thought I had it. I think I have it in my notes, but I'm kind of going scrolling through a little quickly there so we can so yes, I did see that and I thought that was good. That so I remember the building that Sophia showed her, it wasn't quite, I think because it was a historical building, right?
Right.
And she said
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
a little too historical, so she wanted to look for something maybe a little more modern or in a
Mm,
different area, but she did go look at it. I recall that.
mm,
Tambra Cherie now co-hosts the Rock the Runway event that her radio station helped put on, and the Jackson State Band, which I've seen them here in Detroit. I've seen them at Ford Field, which is our NFL, stadium. I've
mhm.
seen a lot of the bands because it's been some years now. As my kids who are very grown now, when they were younger, when my son was younger, I used to take him to the football games. And at the halftime show, I don't know who used to sponsor it. I'm not sure which corporate company sponsored it, but they would always have the HBCU bands come in: Florida A&M, Texas Southern,
Mhm.
all kinds of schools from around the country. And it was a great thing because, of course, we know the bands put on a great show.
Right.
The bands are rocking,
Yeah.
and the majorettes and the dancers
Yeah.
are just they're out of this world.
I
They
always
are.
enjoy them. I always enjoy those bands and those majorettes and stuff like that. I always do.
So we're at the fashion show, and like you said, Melly Mel's long legs and slow walk are contenders to steal the show. But of course, Sophia is also a top contender too, because she came out there walking and strutting her stuff, and her husband was following her around like she was a dancer with the money.
And smacked on the behind at the end. You
Yeah,
know,
I thought it was a play smack. I didn't see him make. I don't know if I saw him make full contact, but yeah,
nah,
he
he
was there.
smacked her behind.
He
He
was
sure
doing a
did.
lot. He was doing a
Yeah.
lot. He can't be my. He couldn't have been my husband, but no, But
JJ was showing out.
he was
You
showing
know,
out. He's quite a character. He is
yeah.
quite a character.
But I'm
Um,
gonna tell you, Mel stole that. That there's nobody there that was for Mel. Mm-mm. To me, she got that hands down.
oh, okay. So it
Yeah,
was Mel for you. Yeah,
yeah.
Mel, like you said, Mel's an Amazon. She had that
Hmm.
slow walk, and I think those slits probably was what did it
Them
for you,
slits
right?
went way up to her hip. Okay. And when I saw that side view, I almost fell out. I was
Oh
like,
Lord.
my God.
Where where's my the Afro mama? Where is
You
she at when you need a good oh Lord.
need about 9 T's after the D on this.
Hmm,
Nine
hmm.
T's because them legs was it. That was it.
Oh,
You know.
okay. Roro did respond. I just want to put that up there on the screen. Roro
Mm.
says that the ex-wife, JJ's ex-wife, was not happy about what was said about her on the show.
But what was said
Well,
about her? I
They
don't think
they
said
said
anything.
that like Roro said that she was not present during a certain period. So I guess
Okay.
the ex-wife is saying she's not happy about it. Now that's all I can get out of that. What Roro just said, that the ex-wife was not happy that someone said that she was not present during the girls, when they were growing up. Now,
Okay.
so
Well,
whatever that meant.
yeah, whatever they meant. I didn't hear any details.
No, there
About it. They
weren't
just
any
mentioned
details
it.
given,
Yeah.
and I don't think they can do that
Right.
because that's a good that
Yeah.
makes them liable at that point where they start giving
Right.
a lot of details. That makes the show very liable to be sued. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
um,
Yeah.
right. So,
So
uh,
yeah.
it was a historic building. I
Mm.
hope the X. Wait a minute. What's this LMV? You said I hope the X does get started.
What X? Where were we at when she left that comment?
The X, maybe still saying about the girls.
JJ's ex.
JJ's ex,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe.
Oh, maybe she gets started telling us more details. Yeah, that would be good if that's what
Yeah.
it is. I would love it. Girl, spill all them beans. And then Roro says JJ did too much. Why couldn't he just let it? Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole slapping on the behind thing and the money, like you're in a strip club. I don't know.
He's a character. He's been a
I'm more
character
conservative.
since.
He's been
He's
a
a
character.
character. He's been a
And
character.
she has to know that she married him.
Right.
She picked him. She knew what it was. But
Right.
I will say I do like JJ. Out of
Yeah.
all of the husbands besides JJ, I like JJ. I like the big football player. Oh my
Oh
gosh, what
yeah,
is
yeah.
that?
Willie.
Willie. I
Willie
like
Cologne.
Willie.
Yeah,
I
Willie.
like Willie. And ever since Cliff really stood up to Glenn, I like Cliff too because the rest of them husbands they kind of trash if you
I
ask
don't like
me.
I don't like what Akeisha did to Willie though in this episode. I kind of have an issue with that.
We'll get
Yeah, we'll get to that when they had that discussion.
Yeah, I've got that. Okay,
Oh,
I think that's coming up.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, did I skip over that? Well, we'll talk about it. But
Okay. Yeah, but
uh,
I enjoyed the fashion show. I really did though.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Letitia, I said, yeah, and even at the fashion show, Letitia is there with her husband Glenn. You know, she said, "Well, we're not back together, but
Mm,
we're at the show. We're just showing our support." Girl, bye. We know what it
mm,
is. We know what it is.
mm.
He done already sweet talked his way back into your pantaloons. Um, Demond at the fashion show gives Tambra a huge bouquet of roses, but no engagement ring. See, you know what? I can't with these southern men. I can't. You're not gonna give me no huge bouquet because it really did look like the way he walked up to her and was all glowing and like he was about to really do
It was a
something. Like
nice gesture. It was a
it was
beautiful
like
gesture.
if I can finish my statement and then you
Okay.
come behind with yours,
Mhm.
I was saying, he came up like he was really about to do something, maybe drop down on bended knee, make a speech, and pop that beautiful big ring on her left hand, on her ring finger, and this. I'm not going. I'm about
Uh,
to say so. This man gives her just a huge bouquet of roses.
just a huge bouquet, like that's
That's
nothing.
that's sweet, honey, baby. Let me
Mm,
just tell you, that's sweet. If I'm 25, that's
mm,
sweet. But if
mm.
I'm her age and trying to have a baby, that is not acceptable. No, sir, no, ma'am.
And
Okay,
if
now
I'm
your statement.
yeah, it was a nice gesture. I know what everybody expected because everybody was like, "Oh, he's walking up. Is he about to
Mhm.
propose? Is he
She
about to
might see. I'm not the only
this
one.
kind
Don't
of
make it seem like I'm the bad person. I wasn't
everybody
the only
thought that."
one.
So
He
I, I
playing, but
I'm
like he been
sure,
playing for 16 years, so
and she was
nothing's new.
playing too. She was playing
Nothing's
for
new.
16 years too,
True
off and
that.
on.
True that.
So
True that.
the thing is, it was a
Mhm.
beautiful gesture. He wanted to show his love and appreciation for her for doing the show. It was a beautiful show. But if he wants to propose, that's not for everybody anyway. He could propose to her at their home in front of her parents.
He
He could do
could.
that
I'm
anytime.
saying you're absolutely right. There's a number of ways. Any way he wanted to, he could do it. But I'm just saying, you know what? Keep them roses. 16 years too late. Keep them roses.
Boy, you raw dog. I tell you the truth.
Keep them roses and save your
You
$120 because
hardcore.
I know they're expensive. Roses are fair because I know last time I got roses they were quite expensive. So I know he spent a good amount of money. But you know what? Keep your roses, dear.
But here's
Um.
what I caught, and I want to see if you caught this at the fashion
Mhm.
show. When
Mhm.
Letitia was introducing Greedy to all the husbands, to Cliff and Glenn and everybody else,
Oh,
and
okay.
then she pulled him to the side as they walked off. Glenn was like, Glenn had a look on his face like, what are they going to talk about? Have they slept together before when they were kids or what? Because she'd known Greedy a long time. Okay,
Back up. Who did this? Who had what
Glenn,
look on their face? Glenn.
Glenn
Yeah.
he cut his eyes at them like, where y'all going? Because she grabbed Greedy and walked off, and
Oh,
he talking for a minute.
right. Oh, like he was
So
thinking like the teacher. He's so possessive. He
that
needs to
that
sit
that
down
that
somewhere with his
jealousy, that
stalker
jealousy
jealous
look,
self.
that jealousy
Oh.
look kicked in. You know, it kicked in at that moment. So I don't know if anybody else caught that, but the look on his face was like, what's going on
Ah.
here?
I kind of saw it, but I didn't see it. I really wasn't thinking along those lines. But you make an excellent point though. But listen to this. Roro said, and this is to my point, demon. I think that was on purpose, Roro, but I'm just
Yeah.
reading what's here. It's not me saying this. This is what
Roro do that every week. She know what she doing. She do it every week.
This is my member, one of my favorite members, and I love them all. But Demon did too much, and this is part of what I'm saying. That he could have kept them flowers. He did too much. He should have waited until she was done. Yeah, you know, you could give me a bouquet of flowers to celebrate, because that's a congratulatory thing, like you do at graduations. You bring bouquets of flowers or whatever, but you give it. You don't walk up while the person is crossing the stage receiving their diploma. You give it after they've come off and after they've had their shine. See, these men, they don't know how to do things right. They don't know how to do things in proper order. And I don't like that personally. That's just me.
Wow.
Roro said, sorry, Damon.
yeah, right. Okay. Right.
And even our member Monique King says, yeah, Demon is right. Let's see what High Five has to say. Exactly, Aubrey. Women of a certain age don't want flowers in public. He could have given her those roses backstage. Exactly. If you're not giving me the ring, you need to just sit your butt down and wait till later on.
High Vibe. Who would ever? A man would never think that a woman don't want a beautiful bouquet of flowers or roses. We never think that. We think you'll always want a beautiful bouquet of roses or flowers, regardless of what the circumstances are.
And
it's the thought that counts.
And what decade was the last time you gave a woman flowers or bouquet? What decade was it? Was it like 1990s?
What you mean?
Was
What
it
decade?
The 80s? Yeah, I just want to know. I'm just come on now, help me out. You always transparent. Share with our audience. Share with our viewers. Come on.
What had happened was.
When was it?
It's probably been about 5 years since I bought women some flowers.
Oh, okay. Well, was it within the decade? I'm impressed. I will have to say, I'm sorry, I'm in a different location, so I don't have my clap track, because otherwise I would give you a full applause. And see there, read what Jay Wadley has to say. And you know, he's a manly man, so see what he has to say about it.
Jay Wadley says, right, tell it, Aubrey. Men must do things in the right order. It's not about them, it's about the women.
That's right. It's a time. It's a point of, sometimes when you do certain things at certain times, it's about you trying to receive all the attention, and that's not proper. It was these women's moment to shine. The women that were on stage, that had organized, had worked very hard to put this together. Don't come up there on that stage trying to give me a bunch of flowers if you're not dropping down on your knee giving me the ring too. Don't do that, sir. No.
Well, you're hardcore, boy. I tell you. Look at Ellen. Look at Ellen. Look at Ellen V. I don't want no damn flowers.
Tell us that $200 could have went on something else. Could have been part of my coach purse or my new shoes, right?
I don't care the occasion. Ellen, you're hardcore, man. I'm like,
Roro laughing. She said, "Not what decade?" He surprised me, Roro. He did say within the last 5 or 6 years. So, Okay, so there may still be hope for him. Who knows?
Oh my goodness gracious!
Flowers are just because type of gift. Roses are exciting, right? That's what I said when I was 25. I mean, I don't mind a bouquet. If you're gonna look, I look at it this way. If you're gonna bring a bouquet, if you and I are courting, you know, this man, I'm seeing him, bring me a bouquet to my home. You know, we're getting ready to have dinner. I'll cook dinner for you. Or even if we're going out, bring the bouquet to my house. It's a thing. It's an intimate thing. You've asked me what flowers I like or what colors I like, and you've customized it for me. Bring it to my house so I can enjoy it. But no, we're out in public and I'm having my moment. I'm shining on stage. No, you don't really have to do all of that. It's not my graduation. I've already graduated, sir. So let's move past that. You know, if you're not dropping down on that knee, it's not the time for that.
Wow.
You know, so and so to wrap up, we're gonna wrap this up. Your final. So Demon. I wanted to say Demon, but okay, Demon and Tambra Cherie. What was going on at the end with Demon and Tambra Cherie? They were having a conversation. People were trying to ask them about their togetherness, what's really going on with them. And it started looking really shady when the security officer came over and started to kind of basically scoop them up. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I don't know what the security officer was for, but I know things got very tense when Letitia was talking to Greedy about the young lady who said they have an intimate relationship, and he was saying that was back in 2014. Why y'all bringing this up now? Let Tambra have her shine. And things started getting very tense at that point. I'm not sure what
Mm-hmm.
security officer was for because it seemed like he was trying to separate Greedy and Tambra. So I'm like, why are
No,
he trying to separate them? And then he
no,
started pulling them away from the bunch. So
no, that's what he was trying to do. I think that's
mm,
exactly what he's trying to do. I see why you say that, because at first it did look like that. I think it looked like that on the previews, but no, at
right.
the end when we actually saw the episode, no, he was actually. I feel like, because they said that, here's the thing, it was said, now whether it's true or not, I'm just going by what was said on the show, that Tambra Cherie had hired this private bodyguard for the show. So
Mm,
I feel like her bodyguard was in on it, and that he was like, if there was any kind of contention or any type of tension in the room, that his job was to escort her away from the crowd, which to me was like, she doesn't want to take accountability,
mm,
because all I can figure out, I'm trying to ask, is what kind of relationship is this really? You guys 16 years on and off, you big and grown. I don't know, nobody said no ages. I can't find no ages on them on the website. I'm looking at Tambra Cherie, and she is a woman of a certain age trying to talk about having a baby at her certain age, which, not saying that she can't, but highly suspect. But you dilly dally with this man for 16 years, okay?
mm,
And now you got these fried eggs that you're trying to resurge and try to have a baby with. I don't know. It's just
mm.
it's really suspicious to me. Very
Yeah,
suspicious.
yeah, and it's also too that whenever those women get together at the same time, stuff always popping off. So I think the last at the sister vention when things really got tense and they were in each other's face because at one point Tambra and Akeisha was in each other's face almost nose to nose, at that event. Now nobody touched anybody, and I didn't think anybody would hit anybody. I mean, this is not Evelyn Lozado, okay, but they were very, very close in each other's faces. Okay. So I felt like maybe she did hire the security. Maybe she felt like if it pops off this time, I may be the one in danger because I can't keep my damn mouth shut. Okay. So
Mm.
that's maybe what she felt.
Guys, did you have any thoughts before we sign off on really what that was? I mean, what do you really think is going on with Tamara and Greedy? I mean, is that really her man? Because
Mm.
to me, it feels like she's in some kind of delusion, like she's in a fairy tale.
Well, he's
Like,
feeding into it, Aubrey. He's feeding
huh?
into it. He's
Well,
feeding into it.
they're feeding into it together, but it's still a fairy tale, because like I said, any two people, if they wanted something to happen, we're not talking about some kids that met in middle school and or grade school, and 16 years later they're still in their 20s or early 20s or mid 20s or whatever that thing is. These people are clearly past their 30s. I mean, and into
Mm.
their 40s, from what I'm seeing, the physical signs that I'm seeing, like I said. And I'm not trying to be funny, guys. I don't. I have no problem saying when a woman is beautiful. I think she's beautiful. I think, and by the way, I do think Tamara is beautiful, but she is a woman. And when I say a woman of a certain age, that to me means a woman over 40. She's
Mm.
clearly over 40, and she's still in this delusion about having children and being married. But yet, this man has never proposed to her. So, like, how does that happen? How
And I,
how do you get married and have a baby before you're 50, and you guys are still dilly dallying around the track?
yeah,
16, 17 times later. Like, come on now.
I,
Quit
I,
playing.
I also think she's very pretty, but in my opinion, she constantly wears way too much makeup.
She
And
does. And
yeah,
that definitely ages her. That's why I say I
yeah,
can't really tell. I can't get a real fix, but I know just from, being in the profession that I was in with modeling, I do know how to kind of gauge people's age. And one of the ways is looking at her neck. And her neck is
mm,
definitely given like close to 45. So,
right.
for a woman to be trying to have a baby, her first baby at 45,
Mm.
you know what? You need to quit dreaming, girl.
Particularly with
Unless you
those
got.
issues.
Yeah, and a
Mm.
man is not committed. Because let's say this. Here's the thing. And a man is not committed to you and
Right.
really wants you like that and really
Mm.
wants to have a child with you under wedlock. Because if he
Mm.
really did, he would have been on his knees. Whether he did it in private, in public, I don't care. You would have
Mm.
been rocking a ring right now, and he would have been. Y'all would have been talking about dates. That would have been part of the show. You would have been saying, in a couple of months, we are having a big church wedding, or we're going to Jamaica or wherever. You see what I'm saying?
And think
But
about this.
none of
And
this
think
is being discussed. None
yeah,
of this.
but think about it in the trailer for next week. He says to her, "Oh, look, I'm tired of playing. I want to get this to the next level. Do you want to move in?"
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me, because thank you. Thank you. And see, this is what I'm saying. You guys are men. I mean, I can't even count how many
That
men
was
that I know
funny.
that have wanted to offer proposed marriage to me, and I
Oh
just
my.
wouldn't let them. You just,
Oh
I think that's
man,
a
that's
whole
funny.
thing. You don't allow somebody to propose to you if you know you're not going to accept as a woman,
Mm.
right? But
Hmm.
read what High Five says.
Tampa doesn't want any kids. She gives auntie godmother vibes. Mm.
Exactly. There are some women that do not, and that's not a problem. It's
She
not a
keeps saying
thing.
she does. That's the issue. That's the
She's
irony. She
talking. I don't know if that's, and I had said this in an earlier podcast about Belle Collective. I don't know if that because she lost her grandmother, who she clearly felt very emotional about and was very close to. And I think the grandmother was what, 100, 99, 100,
99, 99.
99, just
Mm-hmm.
short, just shy of 100.
Yep.
And God bless her, rest her soul. But I feel like, and then also when we look at Tambra's parents, who clearly, if she's 45, they probably got to be at least, 70.
70. Yeah, 70 at
Yeah,
least. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I think people do begin to think about mortality at a certain age in
Yeah.
life, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, I think these are things that she's talking about, but clearly, if she was moving it, you don't even, and I'm not going to be a prude about it, a woman doesn't have to even be married, nor does a man to have a child. You don't have to be married, okay?
Hmm.
There's other ways around that,
Obviously, yeah. Hmm.
whether it's a sperm donor, from a clinic that you don't know, or whether you guys actually just decide to, I thought it's very suspect when she says we've never had sex without a condom. Now
Yeah.
you can't tell me that's somebody that wants to have a baby, but you've never had sex without a condom. Come on
Hmm.
now.
I just find it interesting that he asked her to move in, but he didn't ask her to marry him. So that's the part I'm getting to for the trailer for the following for next week. Um, yeah, he wants to know will you move in with me, but he ain't ask her about marriage.
Right. And didn't he sit there and lie to her parents basically by saying we're going to do it the right way?
He
I
never
knew the
said
moment.
marriage. He playing
Yeah,
with words.
exactly. And that's what I'm about to point out, because when he said that, I said, okay, here he is playing semantics. He's
Mm-hmm.
a little boy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Grown men don't play around. Grown men say what they mean and mean what they say. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's telling her mother, well, yeah, like you said, we're going to do it the right way. But at some point he did in that conversation, and I don't remember it word for word, but he did basically say marriage. He did. He
Mm-hmm.
did. But the thing about it is, I can tell by the way he moves and the way his conversation is, because he didn't bring it up first. That lets you know he's not interested. That's what that
Mm-hmm.
tells me. He's not fooling me, and he's not fooling her parents either. They see what it is. This is a man that's going to play with you for the next 30, 40 years, and you'll be 60 or 70 still talking about trying to have a baby. Get out of
Mm-hmm.
here.
It's like those old memes that go around social media. It's a old man in a wheelchair, and the caption says, "I'm finally ready to settle down."
And you know what? It's a real thing. I'm gonna tell you something. You're
Oh my
laughing.
goodness.
You're laughing,
Uh,
and it's not that it's not funny, but
mm-hmm.
for a lot of men who have that player mentality,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it really boils down to. They wait, they stretch things out, they string women along, this one and that one, because trust me and believe, she's not the only one he's stringing along. And then when he gets old and nothing's working no more, now he's trying to hook somebody to take care of him and change his dirty diapers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And look at Ella. Ella says some women are just happy to get a key. To some women, the key is the
Oh.
ring. To some women, the key is the ring.
Mm.
You know, if I'm living there, I'm his woman. So that shacking up is not married, but to each his own. But I agree
Yeah.
with I agree with Ellen.
High Vibe does say condom sex means I don't want to be a single mother. No matter how much she likes Demon, she
Yeah.
knows he's not the guy she wants, and she's settled. And I got that feeling out of it too, because I had a girlfriend, or I still have her. And for a long while, that was a thing. She didn't think that this particular person maybe met up to all of her standards. So I do see that too.
You, you know, didn't we just talk about
He's
this
maybe not polished enough. Hold on a second. He's
uh-huh.
maybe, I'm just saying, I don't know, but I've not really heard what he does for a professional living. He's maybe not polished enough. He's maybe not educated enough for her, because she is a college graduate and she's looking for something she wanted in her mind. Women, we start off in our 20s with these high ideals of the doctor, the lawyer, the NBA ball player that we're going to marry and have this fantastic life. And then you hit your 30s and then you hit your 40s. But no, condom sex, yeah, that's great. I'm glad that she didn't want to be a single mother. I do respect that, absolutely. High Vibe. But my thing is that beyond not being a single mother, at what point do you decide and look at your life and look at the companionship? Do you really want companionship with this person? Um, or what? And do you really
Yeah.
want to have children? Because if you're still deluding yourself at 40, I just think that's a really big lie you're telling yourself. If you're 40 years old and you've not tried to have a child, you've not tried to get married, but now you're mid 40s, early 40s, late 40s, talking about having a child, like, is that what we're doing? Really? Is that really what we're doing, ladies?
And didn't we just have the discussion last night with RTL with Kayla? Okay, she has a history, according to her and her friend, picking the wrong guy and not the guy that's good for her. You know, she's
Right,
settling for these other guys because they might be eye candy or whatever the case is. Whatever she's looking for, whatever she thinks she wants, is never what she needs. See,
right,
wants and needs are two entirely different things. Okay. So this is what
right.
Kayla is struggling with, and we spoke about this last night. And here it comes full circle again.
Hmm.
You'd be surprised the amount of women, some men too, but mostly women who are
Hmm.
simply settling so they don't be lonely.
Well, and yeah, well, yeah, I guess yeah. Monique or Ellen, one of you guys, could you drop the link for the membership too before we head on out of here real quick? If you
Yeah.
have that available to you. I'm sorry, what were you saying about settling, women settling, and what was it? Something about from RTL, from Ready to Love, last night with
Yeah,
Miami?
Kayla.
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 Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like right,
Yeah.
like and that's exactly to your point. Exactly. That there's a correlation right there. Is that I
Yeah.
feel like it's the same similar thing. Like you know your whole life, and that's what I told you. I don't believe in off again, on again romances. I really don't. If we're off, goodbye,
hmm
goodbye. We don't have
Yeah.
to do on again. There's not an off on switch on me. We're not doing
Mhm.
that. I don't get that. I
And
don't
I
do
and,
that.
and I heard you say
Mm-mm.
if there's ever on again, we're going to therapy. So
Yeah.
that's the
You
only
know,
way there'll be
That
an on
that's it.
again.
That's
Mhm.
it. But not this like people that spend their whole lives. I can't think of one friend, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Oh, thank you, Monique. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, okay, because it has. And I think for example, I was saying the same thing on Facebook. We were having this conversation, and a good friend of mine who ended up marrying a widower, right? So that part of that club.
Mhm.
Um, she had a guy. They knew each other as teenagers. They first met as teenagers. They went to high school together. I think when they uh, at some point they were going together. I think even in college, in some reason or another. I think because they went to different schools or out of state, they broke up. He married somebody else. She married somebody else. They created a life. He's a doctor. Well, his wife passed away, hence him being a widower. And they came back together. And she was saying, well, I was off again, on again. I said, yeah, but do you see how big of a gap that was? Like what, like a twin? These people, these couples had different partners, got married, raised children, grown children, and came back together like in their like late 50s or early
But
60s.
I wouldn't count that
That's
as
how
back and
that,
forth. That's not back and
exactly.
forth.
And I was like, do you
Yeah.
see the difference when I'm not
Yeah.
talking about that. I'm talking about these
Mhm.
folks that break up for 5 weeks, they're back
Mhm.
together 6 months, they're back
Right.
together, and they're
Yeah.
like Tambra and Demon, I mean Demon, and they're back together for 16 years off and on. That's ridiculous. First of all, I don't care whether we're off again or on again. You're not dating me for 16 years, sir, without an engagement ring. We're not going to be dating. We'll be dating inside of our marriage. Yeah.
Mhm.
First
and
of all, you're not getting 16 years to just have me twiddling my thumb because I'm not doing that.
and there's a famous song about off and on again that we all know it. Our love goes back and forth, back and forth.
And on that note, folks, that's all she wrote. Wait a minute, let me
Oh,
go back. Oh, let me go back.
Aubrey, there's
Oh
one more
yeah,
thing about
one
Willie.
more thing, and then
About Will.
tell them about your channel too. Tell them about your
Yes, the
channel.
last thing I gotta say about Willie and Akeisha. Akeisha did him dirty
Oh
because
yeah, I didn't. Okay, go ahead. Talk about that.
yeah, because how in the hell do you bring your husband a pig ear sandwich? Now what? In the I ain't never seen
Oh
a,
yeah.
a
Okay.
pig
Southern,
ear sandwich.
Southern.
And she's sitting there talking about, thank God I'm back home. I came home for this. What is a pig ear sandwich? You ever had a pig ear sandwich, Aubrey?
I have not, but I have heard of them because my mother is from the South. My mother's from. I've never had one. My mom never fixed it. I don't think it's something my dad would have eaten. So my mom wasn't gonna prepare stuff like that if my dad didn't eat it. So, um,
Willie did
but I'm
not
a,
like it one bit.
but I'm gonna tell you something, and you guys can laugh at me and make fun all you want. But I love me some chitterlings in the winter. Okay, I
With
love
hot
me some
sauce.
chitterlings with hot. Oh, definitely hot sauce and cornbread,
Okay.
baby. That's some living right there, and greens. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you what else I like. So I had the couple that introduced my parents to each other on a blind date. They used to make. They came up here from Arkansas. They used to make the best what is that called? You know, the pickled meat, the pig
Pickled
ear.
pig feet.
Pick not the pig feet, but the actual but the meat. It's like a lunch meat, but it's all of that, I
Oh,
guess. You know what
potted meat. Potted meat.
you don't call it that. It's not.
Oh,
I
that's
have
what
to
they used to
call my
call it.
I had to call my god sister and get the name
Okay.
of it. But it's
Okay.
like, and they used to sell it here, even in Detroit. They used to sell it in the stores. But it's basically it's parts of the pig,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pickled and it's gel. It's like a gelatin, and you
Mm-hmm.
can slice it. And I mean, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. It's so
Oh my.
delicious. So
Oh gracious.
I eat pork clearly. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and I do eat chitterlings. I haven't eaten any in several years because I'm very particular, and I had stopped cleaning chitterlings. And then my mom, when she passed away, because she was one of the few women that I trusted to actually cook them, that
Yeah.
knew how to, yeah,
It's a
because
lot of
so I
cleaning. A lot of
yeah,
cleaning.
I clean them. I know how to clean them. My father,
Mm.
who was a cook, taught me when I was a girl how to clean chitterlings, and I go over them 3 times.
Mm.
So I know how to clean them, but I don't really know how to prepare them. So I haven't eaten them in several years. But I may get back to it. My mother used to make them in a pressure cooker, and there's a way that you cook them with the potatoes in them so that your house doesn't smell like chitterling, right?
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And let me real quick. Let me go into these comments. Let's see what the people are saying. Um, oh yes. Oh, talk to them real quick. Talk to them about your channel real
Yeah.
quick too before we go.
Yeah. Everybody, please go if you haven't subscribed
Ooh,
already, or
girl.
recommend, someone to go and subscribe to my channel, Magnetic Repellent. Good content there right now. I'm posting content regularly, and I'm pretty sure you guys will find something there you like. Also, comment and also urge others to comment. But please go and subscribe and like on the videos.
Yes, definitely do that. Roro, I got a question for you. Do you know the name of the pig the pig gelatin that I was trying to because there's a name for it and I just can't think of it.
It's in a can, right?
No, it's not. You keep saying a can. No, it's not in a can. It's made up like how people take sausages and make sausages parts of pork. No,
Mm-hmm.
but this is made. This is a lunch meat. Like it's made and it's jailed, and I guess it's probably put
Oh,
in a refrigerator, and it's made in a block, and then you slice it. It's a sandwich. You
it's
make it.
almost
You
like
make.
it's almost like hog head cheese.
That's it. That's what it's called. Hog head
Oh,
cheese. That's
okay.
what
There
it
you go.
is.
Hog head
Thank you. Let
cheese.
me put that.
Okay.
Thank you. I could not because I had. That's how long it's been since I've had it.
Yeah.
Hog
Hog head
head
cheese.
cheese. Yes, that's
Yep.
what it is. Thank you. I love
Okay.
that stuff. And my godparents, her sister-in-law and her brother-in-law used to make it years ago in Detroit in their basement a couple times a year. They would make it, and it was the most delicious because they would make it a little spicy too. They would make it a
Mm,
little spicy. Hoghead, that's what
mm.
it is. Guys, if you ever had hoghead cheese, that stuff is dynamite.
Wow. Yeah.
That stuff is oh yeah. She says or Seuss. Yes, hog head cheese. I don't care whether you guys like it or not. I don't care. I like it. I eat it. I'm country like that. Okay.
Look beneath that comment what Monique said about Ellen.
What did she say?
Beneath Roro's comment.
Oh gosh. No, that's why you clean it 3-4 times. You don't leave any of that stuff in there. You got to get that stuff all the way out.
Oh, Monique is a mess. Oh
Are you
God.
trying to tell me that you don't eat chitterlings? I know you do, Alex. I know you do.
I haven't had since I've been a kid. I haven't had them.
Really? But did you
since I've been
like
a
them
kid.
back then with the hot sauce? Because we used to break
When I was a kid.
sauce.
When I was a kid.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know the way to your heart now. I'm gonna be cooking you some chitterlings for the
No, I don't eat
holidays.
them no more. No.
Yes, you are, and
No.
yes, you do. Because I know you eat pork. Because you tell me
No.
about your breakfast.
I eat bacon.
That's pork. That's pork. So
Yeah,
you're not
but
gonna
it's
spend
not
that on me.
intestines. It's not intestines.
I
I mean, it's
don't
different.
care. I don't care. I'm gonna negotiate this, guys. I'll
Oh
tell you in the
Lord.
new year whether he ate them or not, okay? But on that note, we're going to slide our way out here. We want to thank you guys for being on Actually Aubrey. We'll be back on Sunday with more Ready to Love. We're moving around. We're working right now with my panel for Married at First Sight, and I believe it's going to be moved to Saturday. So, guys, stay tuned for that. I'll be posting on the community page and probably on Instagram as well. Turn your notification buttons on. Like, subscribe, comment in the videos, and we'll see you soon, guys. We're out.
Thank you.